welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to skip the glamorous front-end gadgets. We're going straight into the foundation, the real nuts and bolts of AV infrastructure.
The stuff that makes everything actually work.
Exactly. Our sources today are all focused on one very specific piece of hardware, the Aurora Multimedia DXE-CAT-RK3 rack mount kit.
Right, and I can already hear people asking, a rack kit?
Yeah, why are we giving dedicated time to what looks like a simple metal bracket? Because our mission here is to understand how something that costs, what, about $400 solves these massive logistical and technical problems. It's really the unsung hero of the server cabinet.
It absolutely is. I mean, what's fascinating is that for the people doing these installations, the real challenge isn't always the signal itself.
Okay.
It's the physical organization, its density, its cooling, cable management, and, compliance. All of those things are huge hidden headaches, especially with devices like these DXE extenders.
So this kit is basically a logistical problem solver.
That's the perfect way to put it.
And when you look at the specs, you see that solution immediately. It holds up to 16 DXE series extenders
16?
in just 3 RU of rack space.
Yeah.
For anyone not familiar, 3 RU is at 5¼ inches high.
Yeah.
That is just, it's serious density.
That level of efficiency is all about clever design. It's not just a box.
So what's the trick?
Well, they use vertical mounting for the units, which saves a ton of space. But the thing that installers will love is how it facilitates a clean rack installation.
Ah, so all the cables are managed.
Exactly. All the connectors are on the rear of the unit. So imagine you're a tech in a crowded data closet trying to troubleshoot something.
Oh, yeah. Nightmare scenario.
Right. Minimizing that cable spaghetti out front and having easy rear access is absolutely critical. It saves hours.
And here's the detail that, for me, elevates this beyond just a piece of metal. Ventilation.
Crucial.
The design has specific cutouts, and it uses that vertical setup for, and this is a quote, optimal ventilation. So let me ask you, why is cooling so important for these extenders?
Well, think about it. You're running high-power components, like, say, the HDTVSupply receivers and transmitters they mentioned.
Right.
That tech is amazing for sending signals a long way, but it generates serious heat. Now, pack 16 of them, shoulder to shoulder, in a tiny space.
You're creating a little oven.
You're creating a microclimate. And if that heat isn't managed, you kill the equipment. Longevity goes down, reliability plummets. So for these mission-critical jobs, ventilation isn't a feature, it's a mandatory safeguard.
Okay, let's pivot to the business side.
Yeah.
Because the hardware has to intersect with how people actually buy this stuff for big projects.
The contracts, yeah.
The sources all highlight that this kit is TAA compliant, and it's advertised with no tariffs.
And that is a huge deal. That's not just a minor spec.
Unpack that for us. Why is that so important?
TAA is the Trade Agreements Act. It basically means the product is made in the U.S. or a friendly country. If you want to sell to the government, to defense, to big federally funded projects.
The biggest buyers.
The biggest buyers. TAA compliance is often non-negotiable. It immediately locks out a ton of competitors. It's a massive competitive advantage for securing those high-value contracts.
And the sources also suggest a clear support strategy. They mention the price, $398, but also a discount code and, more importantly, this huge support package.
Yeah, I saw that.
Free lifetime telephone, chat, text, fax and email tech support, free USA shipping, and the Aurora factory warranty.
Right. And that tells you something. When you're selling a solution for high-density specialized infrastructure, you can't just sell the box and walk away.
You have to support the entire ecosystem.
You have to. You're providing confidence. You're saying, we know you're packing 16 units into this tiny space, and we will stand behind the reliability of that installation for its entire life.
So if we boil it all down for you, our listener, what we did here was take a seemingly boring product listing and uncover the core strategies of pro AV management.
Right. Extreme density to save money and space, compliance as a way to win specific markets, and then dedicated engineering around the unglamorous but critical things like heat and organization.
Which leads to a really interesting final thought.
It raises a big question for the future, I think.
Yeah.
We see that Aurora is heavily invested in AV over IP. A technology that's all about being software-defined and flexible.
With the future, right.
So how does the hard reality of physical components, like this rack kit that locks you into a specific footprint and cooling design, how does that integrate with, or maybe even constrain, that flexible software-driven world?
That's a great question. Will the next generation of this hardware need, I don't know, smart sensors to actively manage airflow.
Who knows? It's something to think about.
The physical world still governs the digital one. We hope this deep dive into the hidden logistics of AV has given you some sharp insights.